Hey everyone, Uh, welcome to my podcast. Let me tell you why am I feeling so optimistic about AI, and let me start with a story. Recently, I had a problem at my home. Someone in my family was having difficulty to step over a bathtub safely, and it was an old bathtub and was working great, but we just need a walk-in shower type of thing. So what I did, what most people would have done, I started calling local contractors. I talked to a friend for various advice, and I asked around, is there any other options other than the full replacement of the bathtub? And almost everyone gave me the same answer that you need to replace the entire bathtub and install a new walk in shower. And the estimates were really expensive. It's almost close to 15 to 20 grand because it needs a lot of wall and it might damage your wall. So some people just told me that there's simply no other solution. So that's where what I decided. Okay, though AI can hallucinate, let me ask this question to AI. And not because I trust AI blindly, but I just thought of, there might be a new solution currently which many people may not aware of that. And so AI does a mistake, so does human. And sometimes the most valuable things AI gives isn't the answer, it's just yet another perspective. And that's where I think it's most valuable, because sometimes we are so opinionated and with some prejudice that we don't try to accept the new opportunities or new way of doing things. So when I asked AI, AI introduced me something I had never heard before: a top cutout. Initially, I thought maybe it's hallucinating, and let me search in the regular search engine. And I find out that it's a pretty standard. Cutout is a modification that lets you safely step into an existing bathtub without replacing the entire unit. And I was surprised to learn that this is a real product category. And even in Lowe's, there is something patent pending. After doing some research and validating information myself, I found multiple providers offering the same solution. And suddenly, a project that was looks like a complete replacement become a much smaller, much cheaper transformation. And that got me thinking, maybe the future of AI isn't about replacing everything. So maybe you are hearing from various so-called AI native companies that, hey, replace all your legacy application with this new one, and that could be something, may not be the most cost effective and best solution. Maybe it's about connecting and adapting what already works. And that's exactly what I think happening in enterprise software right now. Every company wants to take advantage of AI. Every CIO thinks, you have some fear of missing out syndrome. Every executive wants an AI strategy. And many people assume that there are only two choices: either keep your old system and fall behind, or replace your existing application with brand new AI powered application. And it's the same thinking as my bathtub problem: replace everything and start over with an expensive option. But if that's the wrong way thinking, but what if that's the wrong way of thinking about it? I mean it might not work, right? So most enterprise software already have valuable systems. They're already working. They have ERP system, CRM system, HR system, ID system, custom application, and there are legacy applications too. And that's why mainframe still exists, because it's just works. Um, and most importantly, they contain years of business rules, institutional knowledge. Replacing all of them would be incredibly expensive and risky. The value isn't trapped in the system because they are old. The value is trapped because they are isolated. And I think that's the key thing. We need to bring this application into AI age by exposing and integrating their core context or the information we need to increase the value. So, what if instead of replacing everything, we create an AI adapter layer? Just like adding a tub cutout instead of replacing the entire bathtub, That's where I believe a huge amount of future of engineering work is going to happen. We are entering a world where existing applications need to become accessible to AI. Today, one of the emerging approach is Model Context Protocol or MCP, which is very similar to an API, but it actually allows LLM chatbot client to discover the tools and call them automatically when a specific reasoning required. Tomorrow, again, MCP is today and tomorrow it may be something else. But the specific standard isn't the important part. The important part here is the idea. Applications needs a way to expose their capabilities and the context to AI system, and they need a way to say, hey, here's the action I can perform, here's the context I have, here's the data I can safely access. And in many ways, MCP is like a top cutout for enterprise application. Instead of throwing away the system that already work, we create an adapter layer and that allows AI to interact with them. We preserve the business logic, we preserve the investment, we preserve the institutional knowledge, and we make those systems accessible to AI era. So once that happens, AI system can reason across many application, orchestrate work across the enterprise. And somebody has to build that, and somebody has to design that adapters. Somebody has to secure them, somebody has to manage these permissions. Somebody has to prevent prompt injection, and somebody has to implement governance, privacy, memory management, observability, responsible AI safeguards. When people tell me that software engineering is disappearing, I look at this challenge and think the opposite. We are creating an entirely new layer of engineering. In fact, I think some of the most vulnerable engineers over the next decade won't necessarily be the people building the models. They will be the people who, I mean to say, not vulnerable, I mean so valuable engineers. They will be the they will be the people who are connecting those models to the real world enterprise applications, and that's the half of the opportunity. Second half opportunity, what happens when we build a new application? Even if AI writes much of the code, humans still need to design the system, and I think the design principles are challenging. Historically, we build software for human users. Now we are building software for human and AI agent. That means every application needs to think about interoperability from the day one. And does an AI discover the application? How does the AI discover the application? How does it understand the application can do? How does it invoke the action safely? How does it exchange the context with other AI system? Today we talk about MCP. We also see agent to agent protocol or A2A is emerging. There will be more standards in future. The names will change, the technology will evolve, but the need for an integration isn't going away. The fact that it's just getting started, and that's why I'm optimistic. Not because AI is perfect, not because AI won't disrupt the jobs, it will, but because emerging major technology shift creates a new category of work. The bathtub story taught me something simple. Sometimes the smartest solution isn't the replacement. Sometimes it's adaptation. Sometimes it's finding a way to connect what every works to what's coming next. I mean to say, it's finding a way what already works and how you can connect to the next. And AI may automate some of what we do, but connecting the world that already exists to the AI is creating that is an enormous opportunity. And I believe we are getting just started. Thanks for listening.